Okay, we worked with custom symbols in Illustrator. Custom shapes in Photoshop is the equivalent. If there is an equivalent between these two programs, this is the custom shape tool, and these are the custom shapes. You can resize this, that you'll find opening up by default, and then via this little gear, you can load other shapes. But you notice there is no user defined in this list. So Photoshop's going to work somewhat differently. Whoops, get out of there. And we'll go ahead and just hit the letter T to get started. I'm going to click, I've already set this up. So I've got Abraham Lincoln, I've got one of those ampersands we used in Illustrator at a large size. It doesn't really matter what size you're working at. Because we're going to turn this into a vector. We're going to right click on this layer, and you can get at this through the menu as well, but why not just learn how to right click, not on the icon. If we right click on the icon, we're not getting our choices. We're out here off to the right of the name, and we're going to convert to shape. And this turns this text layer into a shape layer. Now we can't, from this point, we just can't say define custom shape. We actually have to select either create or select the vectors. So you can create your own custom paths, but here we're just working with typography. So we're going to select this with the path selection tool. There's the tooltip that pops up. We click, and if it doesn't get selected, you can just click and drag out a rectangle to select all those points. And now edit, define custom shape is an option. And hey, maybe we need a custom shortcut. You might say, hey, Control, Option, Command, S. No, we use that for stroke up here. So maybe C. Oh, no. Well, yeah, content aware, that's not it. So maybe that is it. If we're going to make a lot of shapes, remember how to do custom shortcuts? You did that, right? So edit, I forgot to click that, so let's go ahead and we'll name it something very clever. Say OK, and now inside our custom shape library is this guy right here. This doesn't work. This doesn't work like Illustrator. I can't click and shift click to select a whole range. That doesn't work. Sometimes these will be grayed out, sometimes they're not. I've yet to figure out exactly why that is. I don't know, but you can delete shapes you don't want, and then once you get to the library you want to save, you can go ahead and say Save Shapes. Now again, there's no user defined here, and this, I don't know, for me it defaults into my custom shape library. This is kind of cumbersome to get to inside of Photoshop. So if you want, you can go out and save these shapes inside, one of your folders, and just say, what do we have? MacLab projects, Photoshop files, and we could make a folder called shapes and save that file here with a very clever name like, my shapes. And so now if we reset these shapes and get back to the original shapes and then go to load shapes, and that time we're taken right there, but we could navigate there, click open, and for some reason this appended it rather than just giving us our shapes. So maybe you want to delete everything associated with those original shapes, so just your new custom shapes are introduced. And just like Illustrator, you can continue to add to your custom shape library and resave your custom shape file. When you resave this and save your shapes, and you just save over the top of that. I'm not going to do it because we got this double set of the exact same symbols. Look, heart, heart. So I don't know. Let's figure out why that's happening and how to work a little smarter with that. But that, in a nutshell, is how to build your custom shapes and save them inside Photoshop.